Don't ever restrict yourself to one idea.
But starting local, I think it is okay to start local. How we needed to shape positive culture. How we needed to gather young people, in different industries and make impact. Dreaming is free. Aspiring is free. But having access to your dream is not free.
Exactly.
It's qualified to assist it.
I've seen him a couple of times. He probably will not remember me. I've met him a couple of times around town in Port Harcourt on billboard.
P on that formula is passion. Passion for me is love in unstoppable movement.
The plan was Netflix and chill, but for Jimmy, the race was over. It was time to make that deal.
I'm happy to be here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm very sure the things that I share with the world, somebody will find the light.
It was millions set of people back then. They were like, oh, this has to change. We have to devise a new means of exchanging money.
On behalf of KO Baba Youth Convention 2024, I present to you Mayor of Housing for your massive contribution and encouragement to thriving youths in Nigeria.
Please, one of the most selfless men. We talk about comedians and entertainment in this town.
It's only my land I'm still waiting for.
You deserve more than a land, you deserve a house actually. And very soon we will shock you. Ladies and gentlemen, make another noise for Frank Nweke Jr.
That the best way to predict the future is to create it.
The mayor of Pitakwa organizing this KO Baba Youth Convention, and of course he has invited his destiny helper as well. I've seen him a couple of times. He probably will not remember me. I've met him a couple of times around town in Port Harcourt on billboards.
Wow. Me?
But I'm going to see him live now. Yes, he's here. As a matter of fact, he is multiple award winning. He's the author of 101 Quotes with the Mayor of Housing. He's a real estate success strategist. He is the CEO, Mayor of Housing and Construction Nigeria Limited. Whatever he puts his hands on literally turns into gold. If you're not clapping, you're wrong.
If you talk to good, I'll collect the hand. We'll talk to good, I'll collect your hand.
My name's China, the Mayor of Housing.
Thank you.
I'm sure many people are tired. So for those that came for the introduction of the convention and are tired, you can now excuse us. Those that want a quantum leap, please can you put your hands together for yourself? If you are not clapping, it means you are not ready. I'll just go. Are you clapping? Is that a hand clap? Thank you. Please show me how many minutes I have, because I'm caught in the conundrum of what Honorable Olumati said. I've heard some people speak so well. I've heard my colleague, senior colleague, architect Uche speak. I've heard Chinedu speak. And when Olumati said he didn't feel like speaking, he just felt like sitting and listening, I thought he wouldn't speak. But his own speech almost eclipsed everything that I don't think I actually need to speak. But I could do this in 2 minutes. I could do it in 2 hours. So please give me some time guide so that I'll know how many minutes. 10 minutes? So in the next 10 minutes, I'm supposed to talk to you on the topic transforming community. Specific solutions into worldwide practices. When KO gave me this topic, I said, Unasabi give complex topic. and no time. If you look at Google for the word community and transform, a community is just a group of people, but for me, I like the best group of people I've seen in my life is the marketplace community, because anywhere that can turn anything I have into a lot is the only community that matters to me. Amen. If you don't like a lot, please, you can carefully behave as if you are leaving to ease yourself and go home. So that complex topic, I tried to simplify it, and the only thing I could see is happening to your marketplace or happening to a group of persons. Sometimes something will happen, they will say, Niger don't happen to that guy. And some people go to school, they say, they went through school, but school did not go to them. You, when will you happen to Port Harcourt? When will you happen to your marketplace? That is transforming any community. And what gives me the right to talk to you about transformation?
Something big has hit the city of Port Harcourt and about to quickly spread throughout Africa.
Shout out to the Mayor of Housing. We love you.
A big shout out to you, Mayor.
Shout out to you again, Mayor of Housing, the best in housing and estate business.
Mayor of Housing, all the best. Mayor of Housing,
shout out to the Mayor of Housing.
The biggest value monger in real estate in the world and the fastest rising housing brand to come out of Africa. It is your real estate solutions expert and your best plug to getting the best all-round value and returns in housing that would make you shout wow and how. But behold, the man that has taken it upon himself to solve the housing deficit in Africa through your collaboration and innovative solutions that are simple, sustainable, and affordable. But behold, my ace China, the Mayor of Housing and your real estate success strategist. He can make you money and make you happy in real estate because he doesn't sell houses or lands, he sells value.
I've been pushing, you have a very big presence in the economic summit. Why are you doing that? What is your motivation?
I am the Mayor of Housing. I am not the mayor of empty houses. If you build in a location that is not attractive for immigration into that location, you will have empty houses. Part of the passion I have in housing in River State is to eliminate or reduce the River State, Lagos State dichotomy in decent housing estates for especially our expatriates and qualified people, because we have a lot of them working in Port Harcourt or living in Lagos or Abuja. We want to be able to not only keep them but attract people from all over the world to come and live in Port Harcourt, thereby making my houses occupy. Secondly, lands are no longer in production, is a finite and definite asset. What makes the value of land increase is the amount of traffic heading and searching for that land. If very few people want to come to River State, our lands will be almost worthless. But if the whole world wants to come to River State, you're going to make my land the most desirable and valuable land in the world.
Call him now on 0809 337 8525 or visit www.themayorofhousing.com and also follow Value on social media www.facebook.com/my ace China, at my ace_China on Instagram and Twitter, www.linkedin.com/my ace China, and www.youtube.com/my ace TV. Housing for all, your right to live.
So I came into this town like Chinedu some years back, And I came with nothing in 2003. By 2010, I had resigned as a medical lab scientist and had lost everything and started an oil business from the scratch. I felt that doing that in Imo State would give me a better understanding of how to succeed. And I ended up being the second largest diesel distributor in Imo State and ended up in prison. This time I didn't lose everything. I lost everything plus more because I was owing 18 million naira. I spent 8 months in Owerri prison, the most congested prison in Nigeria, where we were 94 of us in a cell that's supposed to sit 16 people, and the 94 of us were using one toilet and bathroom. And I had to learn to control myself in that place. All this while, I used to go to wedding. They'll say, if you have anything to say it now or hold your peace. I know Sabi hold peace till I enter prison because I learned how to hold my peace. When peace catch you and you need to hold it, you will not say no easy, amen? It was in that shithole of a congestion that the light of epiphany came to my life. And I found out that Nigeria had been happening to me and transforming me into what I didn't want to be. And I found out that I was a dynamo that could charge a ripple energy quantum effect that could transform not just Nigeria and Africa, but the whole world. And I decided I'm going to happen to Nigeria, I'm going to happen to Africa, and I'm going to happen to the world. And I started studying how I could happen to the world. And I found out it takes some processes. And I'm going to rush through those 7 processes in the next, I think I have less than 18 more minutes, so that I can happen to you, so that you can happen to your community. The mystery of impact, I found out, is that you cannot change anyone but yourself. So to happen to the world, you must first happen to yourself. Olumati talked about, of all the disciplines, was it him or somebody? The 2 most important disciplines is self-discipline and financial discipline. So the first thing you have to do is to discover a solution. Sometimes when they say discover a solution, you go looking, seeking, because he says, if you seek, you will find. But the more I seek God, I find out when I find God, the more I find God, the more I find me. So that place that say we are gods, I actually believe I am God, because of the more of God I'm finding, the more of me I am seeing. So you have to find the solution. You are, because no human being is useless. Every human being is a solution sent to the world to solve a particular problem. He didn't send you here as a failed experiment. He set you here as a certain solution to a certain problem. If you've not found that problem, you are wasting space. Find it. And if your solution gives you no profit, it's a delusion. I have seen a lot of delusional youths in Nigeria, and I'm waiting for when I'll start seeing youths with purpose, with specific solutions and drive that nothing can stop them. Because I see a lot of people with solutions with no profit. Bros, if Allah no dey your solution, why you dey give them your own attention? Step 2, you have to love the solution. Man, in fact, I have a formula for success, and the first P on that formula is passion. Passion for me is love in unstoppable motion. If it's not love, it's not passion. If it's not moving you, it's not passion. If anything or anyone in this world can stop you, it's not passion. So you have to find a solution to die for. I love Olumati so much with the rendition of how love can kill you, and you can replace that love with comfort. A lot of Nigerians are dying in their comfort zone. The search for ease is responsible for the rot and death of so many people's destiny in this earth. And one of the people that waste their difficulty is African youth, because being an African, he told you something about mental health. We don't have mental health issues in Africa because we are born into difficulty and we have a head that is stronger than any other difficulty than any part of the world can experience. So don't waste your difficulty. Find a solution you are willing to die for. If you are not willing to die, you are not willing to live. And if you cannot find profit in that passion, please, it's a distraction. I think it was the Obunabali chief that said, or prince that said, in your discipline, be wary of distraction. Distraction is the new devil. The oldest devil is ignorance. The most dangerous devil is it doesn't matter or casuality. But the latest devil is distraction. And it comes so packaged in Android and iOS devices that it looks so attractive and expensive. But the price of that device in your hands is not the money you pay to buy it. It's the distraction you pay of your dreams dying daily because you give your attention to that device than your solution. So the simplest things are the most powerful things. There's something we say often, but we disregard it. Confucius says the life is actually simple, but we insist on making it complicated. It's simple as do or die. If you are not willing to do it or die, then please leave the space, because as Chinedu says, the business space is an extreme sport. Extreme sports are those sports that you can die on the spot. And if you are not ready to die on the spot for the sport, you are not qualified to be in that sport. One is SPOT, the other is SPORT. Number 3, you have to believe the solution. I love what Anais Nin said so much. She said, life will shrink or expand in proportion to one's courage. There's a man in Nigeria that I call him the most educated illiterate, and he's my mentor. He's so educated, yes, he's a primary 3 dropout illiterate. He's so educated, he sits on the boards of companies and one of the best financial gurus of our time. His name is Dr. Cosmos Maduka. He will tell you just 3 things. Life is faith, determination, and courage. That's his success formula. So Anais Nin said, life will shrink or expand to the proportion of one's courage. So if you have a courage for 10K, you know when we speak all this English here, bros, if you know translate to a lot, you don't get my attention. That's why I like 2 things especially. I like matrimony because it ends with money, and I love testimony because it ends with money. Every time I'm going through the test, I'm thinking of the money at the end of the test when it becomes a testimony. That's why I can go through the test. Anything money no day, I no day. So the courage you have determines your bank alert. If you have courage to do the things of 10K, you will get 10K alert. If you expand your courage to do the things of 1 billion, you have 1 billion alert. And we live in the most interesting times when you can study anybody. You can study billionaires. You can study anybody. When the pastor was talking, he talked about David. There's something about David many of you don't know. How can a 70-year-old have the courage to fight a bear? If you've watched American bears and see how heavy they look and scary, how many of us can even face a bear? Not only fight, just face. No fight, I'm just stay there. Many of us, by now, just seeing the bear from that door, we don't peace. 17-year-old, not 70. He also fought a lion, alone in the bush. It was that courage that he expanded and showed the universe that he was ready to lead a nation that made him the king. All beliefs must be tested with adversity. An untested belief is no belief. Many of you believe you're billionaires, but when God throws *1 million naira challenge to you, you back down and chicken out, and you are saying, 1-1-B. Only 1-1-M problem. You don't run, no, but you just sing 1-1-B. Any belief you believe must be tested with the same size of adversities. And then he said something about dreams. If you've not found a dream to die for, all of us can aspire, dream. It's free. but deserving your dream comes with a prize, CE, for you to earn the prize, ZE, of your dream. So not all dreams are yours. Your dreams are those dreams you still believe in and pursue after the greatest adversities has tried to quench them. 8 months in prison, and as I'm coming out, I'm thinking of how to move my business forward. Nature does not respond to our desires, but to our deserve. And one of my major beliefs why I smile every day and I'm the happiest man alive is that I don't go through challenges. I grow through challenges, and nothing excites me like growth. So when you are throwing the challenge at me, I am wondering at the growth and celebrating. And there's something we usually say, any problem that comes to a man is equal to a man. Have you heard that before? Have you heard that before? So why do you complain when big problems come? You're not big. When big problems come, I get flattered. I look up and say, wow, wait, as I think, say, I still be local player, they give me global problems. So I'm a global person. I'll solve this global problem for global alert, because at the end of every problem is solution, and solution has to do with alert. So learn the solution. The problem most of us have is that we're not willing to learn. I was so heartbroken when KO said that we took in some people to learn some craft and they didn't finish. I don't learn from far places. I learn from home. I'm an Igbo man. My Igbo is so thick that if you put my Igbo in water, it will turn to Agidi. And one of the greatest learning models I've seen is the Igbo apprenticeship system. The original Igbo apprenticeship system takes 7 years of learning and working at just buying and selling. When you go Lagos now, buy parts, come Ikoku sell them. Somebody they learn them for 7 years. Why won't he beat you when after 7 years of learning that? So if you've not mastered it, you don't know it. And the only way to master it is repetition is the mother of all skill. Unconquerable repetition takes unconquerable courage, and repetition is mastery. So learn, for one magic word, learn until. For me, I learn until I get a lot. I learn until I dominate, because I don't do business to participate. I do business to transform my marketplace so that they think of only me and give money to only me. So I'm not done when I finish. I am done when I get results. And one of the greatest power in the 21st century is the power of focus, because distraction is the new devil. After you've learned the solution, and you must commit to 10,000 hours of learning or 7 years of learning to become a world-class master. And people are so lazy that after 1 year, you're already dominating your locality because people are not willing to learn. But don't allow your local dominance take you away or take your eyes away from the board, because you are shooting for the global space and you are willing to stay until you dominate the globe. So you must give it at least 10,000 hours or 7 years. So always buy before you sell. What does it mean? If you've not bought the idea that you are a transformer, you can't transform nobody. And doing is the only way to show anything. If you want to show us how good you are, do good things. Don't explain. Explanation confuses people. Don't explain how good you are. Show us how good you are. Don't explain the result. Show results and become the result. The more you try to explain your incompetence without result, the more you prove your incompetence. So then tell us about it. Winning gives you the right to transform, and only doers are winners. Become the solution. Step 1 to 5, I've told you, is to transform you, because the size of the ripple depends on the size of the stone and the intensity with which it hits the water. There's how big a stone will be that when you throw it in the middle of the water, the ripple will not be a ripple, it will be waves. The globe is the lake. You are the stone. The intensity with which you happen to your marketplace is the intensity of your dropping into the lake. The ripple is the transformation. So if you're a small pebble and you fall with gentleness to the middle of the river, you cause such a gentle, small ripple effect that before you get to the mid of the river, it has fizzled out. But if you learn to grow yourself to become big enough to be a boulder that is strong with so much intensity that the lake reverberates with not just ripples, but wave-like ripples, you begin to happen not just to your locality and continent, but to the globe. So after you do the solution, master the solution, you must become the solution. If people don't call you as the solution to something, you've not become the solution. K.O. Baba has made himself such a solution in Pitakwa that if you talk about comedy or impact, you talk about K.O. Baba. So we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, you are what you repeatedly do. And the final step after you've become the solution, spread the solution. This is where a lot of us get it wrong. Many of you want to spread a solution, you are not. You want to spread a skill, you are not. Instead of taking time. When Chinedu was talking about the gangsters of America, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich. And a man can lock himself inside the house for 40 days to do a thinking fast or a thought fast, as they called it, or an ideation for 40 days, just thinking about one thing. Why won't he come out with a solution? How many times have you even locked yourself out of not the world, not your room, just off your phone for one day and think? And yet you want to be the best in content creation. Mr. Beast, I would like to follow the best. Mr. Beast is the greatest YouTuber on earth. He said for 1.5 years, him and his mates were just watching YouTube videos, discussing YouTube from morning till night every day for 1.5 years, for 18 months. Discussing what are the possible, how to dominate and conquer YouTube. And when he started, he has over 300 million YouTube subscribers right now. He conquered. So don't be in a hurry to transform your space. Be in a hurry to transform yourself. And when you are good enough, so when you want to transform yourself, when you become a world-class person, and it takes hours and hours on working on yourself to become world-class, the next thing is that you must blow your trumpet. I hate people that will say, I don't like blowing my trumpet. And you go buy a trumpet with your money, you be fool. You use your money, go buy your trumpet. Can't give another non-you to blow your trumpet. If you blow off too, nunko. I love blowing my trumpet because I want to happen to the space. I love when the co-host was saying she saw me on billboards. And I was embarrassed because we've not started. The billboards we did is just like a test. When what we're cooking is done, we're going to blow so much trumpet you think that we are 1,000 people, just like the 4 lepers, that their trumpet of their steps were magnified. But they had to blow that trumpet by taking the step. Attention is the new money. If you don't know how to get attention, you will not get money. And the only way to get attention is to become so good that the market space, your location, the world cannot ignore you. Finally, before you dominate, ask yourself, are you worthy to transform the world? If everybody in this world becomes exactly like you, will the world be a better place? What kind of husband? What kind of wife? What kind of businessman? What kind of businesswoman are you? If everybody was like you, how corrupt are you? How non-corrupt are you? If everybody should become like you, if we all buy your message and decide to be like you, how will the world be? So it all boils down to going back to become the best of you ever can be, and there to happen to your world, because the intensity of which you happen, by which you happen to your world, determines how much of the world you can happen to. As I said, it's a ripple. But real opportunities are not given, they are created. You create your opportunity by yourself. God has given you a light that you're supposed to allow to shine. That light is also your fire. When you lock it inside, it will burn you. So some of you, what is making you sick and what is making you burn is because you've put your fire inside of you and it's burning. Consistent, unending preparation and venturing. That's what creates opportunity. So you have to daily discover your solution, love your solution, believe your solution, learn your solution, do your solution, become your solution, spread your solution. Then you will transform your community, even if that community is just your family. And who knows, if you can magnify the intensity of that transformation, your solution might just be a specific solution that grows into a worldwide practice. Thank you very much.